I'm just saying though, is that there's a lot of Japanese people here who don't like anime.
Yeah, I know.
It's very like some people may be surprised by that. Especially people like myself who do regularly watch anime and read manga and stuff. They just think it's just like weeb headed, and it is. But at the same time, there's a lot of other things in addition to that. And
Yeah,
then
man.
people gave me shit for liking anime and manga back in the States, and it's not realistic. But it is made by Japanese people and it is deeply rooted in Japanese culture, so you do learn a lot from it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not the only thing Japan offers.
No, they
Like
also
there's
made
hiking,
Street
there's
Fighter.
sushi.
Also
Yeah, it's kind of like
Panic outside, you're still on my mind. I wanna be fine. This is the time. Panic outside, you're still on my mind. I wanna be fine. I wanna be fine. Life gone crazy, someone say me. Life gone crazy, someone say me. Life gone crazy, someone say me. Life gone crazy, someone say me.
I'm on this emotional roller coaster.
Alright, podcast and stuff. We just started. Boosh. Yeah. So yo, man, I think probably 2 weeks ago now this time, but 2 weeks ago, I was like, hey man, how you doing? Blah blah blah. With everything going on in the world, and you're like, yo, I'm in Japan, and I'm like, what?
yeah.
That shit caught me by surprise. Yeah, man. So I feel like you might have teased big things coming in your life in the last podcast that you were like, yeah, I don't know if I'm ready to say, but I feel like this was probably one of them, right?
Yep.
So yeah, man, I guess where did this idea come from to go to Japan, teach Japan? Was it before or after the trip?
Before.
Yeah,
so what happened was I originally I graduated from UCF.
Yeah.
Got my bachelor's. This is in Orlando, Florida, so I went to college. Then after college, I was like, all right, what am I going to do? This is basically it, unless I decide to go back to school. So originally looked into different options. I looked at joining the Peace Corps, but I didn't want to live in a third world country. And then thought about Japan, but at the time, this stuff had scared me off from doing it. All the procedures, all the background checks, all this other stuff. I was just like, wow, this is a lot of work. And I got scared, and then I didn't have a lot of money. I moved up to Texas with only it got to where I was only at $300 in my bank account, but obviously I was able to overcome that. But at the time, I didn't have any money and I was scared. So 6 years later, here I am. I spoke to a life coach at the time who gave me the idea.
This is in Florida or in Austin?
The life coach is in Texas.
Okay.
Yeah, I had met someone at a show I had played, and then I saw he had an Instagram account based off of where he did life coaching on the side. I was like, okay, what is this? So I contacted him about it. And so probably about a week later, we set up our first session. He gave me a free session. I decided to do a few other sessions with him. Ultimately, we just did not get along very well. I didn't like his style, or I decided to stop sessions with him. But the first one we had talked about was, I talked about some stuff that I was going through at work and just my personal life and how I was just needing to change. And so then that's basically what happened. And then 2 years later, and I did a lot of tutoring on the side with 3 different nonprofits in Austin with El Buen Samaritano, the Hoft Institute, and with Dell. They had a program where I was able to teach Chinese software engineers English. So I did all this in secret. I didn't want to tell anyone.
You were doing this at
I didn't want to tell anyone. Yeah, I did that at Dell. And then I also did the tutoring. I tutored a Chinese family around my area. They fed me every week. It was usually on Mondays. I did this for 2 months. And then I went to South Austin on Wednesdays for about 2 months. It was just too long of a commute. I decided to stop doing that one. But it was this Spanish nonprofit for people who had just moved into the United States from Mexico. And so I tutored them in English as well.
Damn.
And so I did all this in secret because I didn't want people's opinions or people to talk me out of it, or uninformed opinions to try to negatively influence me. So I was very quiet about it. I only told a handful of people until recently.
Man.
So that's the story.
That probably helped because I remember I applied for, I can't remember which one, but I applied for one maybe 2 years ago. I feel like it had an E in the title, but I didn't really have the teaching English experience, but it looked like you had quite a bit from what you were saying.
I didn't have any at the time. I did some I've never actually taught for real.
Real quick.
I was just talking about how I did volunteer work, and I was basically kind of living a double life. with doing this volunteer work. So the last 2 years, as I worked on like two things, was first obviously trying to lose weight and all that's another topic altogether. But the other one was living in Japan.
And
Yeah.
you done both, dude. You've
Yeah.
done both. You made both happen. That's badass, dude.
Yeah, like I actually did not. This is my second company I applied through. The first one I didn't get hired with, and then the second one brought me on. There's a better company that I missed the application date for. But other than that, I'm happy I'm here.
But now that you're there, like assuming everything goes well and you like it, now it'll be easier to get jobs because you're there, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I could transfer to other companies, or if I want to stay with this company. The only thing that sucks though is that with the health insurance and pension systems, I'm able to avoid paying the pension for the first year.
Okay.
But if I decide to do a second year, then it's like I think it's 60,000 yen, which is about equivalent to $600, I think. I forget the exact amount. Yeah, for a pension. I don't know what the exact rules are, but it's a lot. It costs a lot of money, and I am taking a pay cut with doing this, but I feel like the price of being able to live in Japan is priceless.
Yeah.
In comparison. So I've taken a significant pay cut from what I made at Dell compared to now, but which I'm not going to disclose those numbers, but yeah, it'll be a big adjustment for living.
Yeah, plus
have to watch it. Yeah.
Plus, if you like it, and like you said, you're already learning Japanese and stuff. So if say you do want to stay there longer, like you can just get a better job later now in the place that you like. That's it.
Right.
It's just money at the end of the day. Even though it's easy to say that sometimes, it's also and hard to say that sometimes because like I might be in one of my harder financials. I'm probably in the worst financial situation in my life ever. But at the same time, I'm trying to keep cognizant. It's also just money, It comes, it goes,
It comes and goes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's one thing about living in the cities. I'm not in the cities. I'm in rural Japan, but live in the cities of Japan. It's so easy to spend money. They've designed the cities to make it easy to spend money. You just walk around. There's a convenience store nearby. There's a vending machine. There's a store. Like everywhere you look.
Is that
purposely designed?
Would you
say to make money?
If you had your preference, would you want to go straight ahead, or you find the way it worked out, like into a city, or you find living in the rurals?
I'd be okay with being a little more suburban. I am a little far from civilization. Yeah, about 2 hours west of Osaka, and on the train it takes 2 hours.
Oh man,
shit sucks.
How is it in the rural area? Because I think like outside looking in, they make it seem like if you're in one of those cities, like English speaking, no problem, but like you leave, then it becomes an issue or something,
This is precisely what I'm going through now. Yeah, it's one of those things. I have to use Google Translate sometimes to show people what I'm asking for. I've gotten basic phrases down to where I can order coffee. I can ask if there's something in a store. I can introduce myself, ask strangers to take photos of me. I can do that, but other than that, I'm still popping out the Google Translate. Like, had to go to the doctor's office to get my ear checked. I put some water in my ear.
Oh wow!
And yeah, I'd use my social insurance card, which it's covered 70% of the bill. Ended up paying 3,000 yen, which is about $30.
Oh shit!
For my consultation and the meds. So that's a pretty good deal considering all that.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I had to use Google Translate a lot because that was no English was spoken at the clinic.
Damn, so the entire experience you're using
like a lot. Well, there's a lot of times I'll be like, "Kohi ga arimasu ka?"
Well, I just mean in the doctor's office. So the entire experience you're using Translate? Wait, so how does
actually no, it's gotten even better. So I had to call my employer a couple times for translations.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and they'll actually help you with that. A lot of these companies, they push real hard to get us Americans or other countries people over there. And it's like, oh, we'll take care of you, provide support. So yeah, I've called them like 7 times for translations.
Okay.
Like at the bank or the doctor's office or some other incidents. So it's like shit.
How has because I think you said you have a car, right?
Oh, man. That's a fucking story. So I might as well spill the beans, make this good podcast material. So so I got in an accident the second day.
Already?
I was driving. So how this happened was
is this a right lane place, right? Too right? You sit in the right part of the car in Japan, right?
That's part of it. Yeah.
Okay.
So what happened was you drive on the left-hand side of the road, and I scraped a pole. There's a really tight spot like to get into my apartment. And I live right next to a convenience store called Family Mart, which is one of the 3 major convenience stores here in Japan alongside Lawson and 7-Eleven. But yeah, so I scrubbed a pole. I was only going 10 kilometers per hour, so it was very slow. But I still caused some cosmetic damage and a dent. So luckily I didn't hit someone else, and my car's been repaired for about a week and a half. So my company is actually paying for a taxi to drive me around to schools, and I'm walking everywhere. Luckily, I live walkable distance from a gym and from a grocery store, a couple restaurants, the post office, dollar store, Daiso. But yeah, so I rode with some of my colleagues to Himeji Castle last week. I haven't gotten a whole lot of driving experience because of that incident. But yeah, that was another issue, is that the police were called, and then I had to talk to the cops in Japanese, or at least try to. And one of my colleagues had shown up. He saw me talking to the cops, and I had posted something in the line group, and he saw me there and then talked to the cops for me. He had studied Japanese for a few years, so he was a little more conversationally fluent. And so I had to ride in the back of the cop car to get my passport, my driver's permit scanned. And yeah, so that was another hair-raising experience where I would have benefited from knowing Japanese. So
hey man, day 2 though. I mean, give yourself some time.
Day 2. Yep, so now I'll just probably get my car next week.
Okay.
My employer followed all my stuff. I'm waiting for the bill to come in, see how much I'm going to be paying out of pocket. But yeah, it's another interesting, embarrassing, but titillating experience, and why I should learn Japanese.
Well, I think one of the first things I asked while you were over there, because you were sending me these pictures, and I was like, man, it's look all like you having a good time. It's fun. I guess in your area, I guess how is because it seems like you're about to start going to work soon. How's the corona-ness affecting y'all over there?
All right. So this is an interesting one. I don't know if I'm supposed to say it publicly, but it's a podcast, so I think we'll be all right. I don't think they're going to catch. But so our schools are closed until April 19th. However, I still got to go in to meet the teachers and make lesson plans. So I go in tomorrow at 8 a.m. I got a taxi pick me up at 7:45. The drive to my schools is about 20 minutes each. And they're pretty rural areas. It definitely looks like something from a Miyazaki movie. Very rural in the hills. Got sakura trees and stuff right now. Torii gates, temples, all that shit.
Yeah.
But yep. So yeah, virus though. I got to wear masks. Are hard to buy masks right now, so people are making masks.
Yeah.
I asked them if I could use a neck gaiter. I use those to cover my neck tattoo. So these these little cloth things that you put around your neck. They're commonly used in I guess skiing. But yeah, I got some online last year. But yeah, I'll probably use those, and I'll look like a Mortal Kombat character walking around.
Hey man. Damn.
Yeah, but everywhere's got to wear masks. I think that's become a thing in the States too now. I've seen
it started in the coastal. I'm sure maybe in Texas it'll probably. It seems like we just followed the coastal cities maybe a week or so behind. So maybe next week we'll have to. But yeah, we got some custom masks because I think it's coming. So.
Yeah, but buy them now if you can, because they're sold out literally everywhere.
No, they are everywhere.
In Japan, you can't buy them. They sell out the drugstores. I see people lining up before they open. This is at a drugstore, a Walgreens. People line up.
Damn.
To buy face masks. So yeah, if you can buy them there while you can, I'd recommend it, because people will panic buy stuff. So
yeah,
that's
toilet
what I'm
paper.
worried about later. Yeah, I got some while I'm at home, but I'm gonna have to go to the grocery store after we're done, and it's gonna be an experience.
I've always heard Japan was bidet city. Is that not the case where you're at?
The what?
I heard Japan was always bidet city. I would always hear the bidets, the toilet bidets.
You still gotta use toilet paper as well.
I don't know. I've never used a bidet, so I don't know the process.
All right. So a bidet squirts water in your butt.
Yeah, I know that part. I just thought I thought it was so good that's all it did. That you didn't need to do anything else.
It still leaves it kind of wet. Okay. Obviously, yeah. And that's kind of so kind of gross, but you got to use paper as well.
All right. I don't know.
And wash your hands. I mean, that's just normal protocol.
Yeah, but you don't need toilet paper to wash your hands. Or have I been doing that wrong?
I would just do all three just to be safe. Like you can, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's better than the Japanese toilets. Have you seen those, like the floor toilets?
No, I don't think so.
Google images. Do a Google images search for Japanese toilet, and
Yeah.
you'll see it. They're on the floor. It's like a sink on the into the floor, and you have to squat in order to take shit.
Damn. Well, at least you get
I'm
them
glad-
strong legs, dude.
I actually don't have to use those. Most toilets in Japan have progressed to Western toilets, but Japanese toilets, yeah, back in the day, and at festivals, I saw those. Like at Fuji Rock last year, I saw the Japanese toilets, and I was like, "Fuck that."
Just hold it.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I
You
think
see
I
it?
found one.
Yeah, it's on the floor. Japanese toilet. Fucking scary, right?
The leg struggle. And then I see other pictures of people brushing their teeth. So I'm gonna stop now. Over the toilet.
Yeah. Dire straits.
Yeah. But like, so you mentioned, the dates of school and whatnot. So wait, so like, are y'all just gonna start school as normal then, or
On the 19th.
but like just normal?
Yeah, so
like
I've got
everybody's-
like a week. Yeah, so I start classes on the 19th. I may have to do some self introduction lessons in front of my teachers. So I got to rehearse those, like, and then get my lesson plan sorted once I'm done here.
So-
I'll go to a cafe if they're still open.
So I guess like that's what I was trying to ask. So I guess like over like the way over here we're on lockdown. So I guess over there like is it like
I can still walk around.
Yeah, like not so much
Apparently,
that.
I haven't gone outside yet.
But like
apparently
schools here
Shinzo
are
Abe
remote
has
too.
declared
Like
a-
schools here are remote right now too. So that's what I guess I was trying to ask. So I guess schools are gonna go on as normal.
Yeah, I'd be in person. I wouldn't get the work from home. I would love that, but
Yeah.
I worked from home like at least like a couple times a week at Dell, and it was great.
Mm.
All I did was play video games and work on the clock.
The life.
Oh yeah,
Just like a
Yep.
Twitch streamer, but without the stream.
yeah. That's hard being a Twitch streamer. I just couldn't motivate myself to play a game and not know I don't have anyone watching me.
Did you
It's just tough.
stream before?
I tried it for a minute. I had a coworker of mine who tried to get me into it. It was just hard to get people to actually watch, and then I was like, nah. And plus, is like I wasn't really playing games that people wanted to watch. I was playing
that's the
single player
tough part.
games, and
I think the toughest part, like, one, I look at me with twitching, and I think the problem I had based on, like, look, I do this podcast, and however many people watch and hear it, I'm sure there's probably more people than I think, but it's also like not a lot, but the
Right.
same thing for whatever music I do. But I think I do those things because I like them, so I don't care about the numbers. But I think with Twitch, the main thing that interests me was like, oh, people are making money, but I think that's usually not enough motivation because based on the efforts I've put elsewhere, I'm like, if I really cared, I would just keep doing Twitch and failing the way I do for everything else. You know what I mean? For all my other creative content,
Plus, another thing is you got to reciprocate support for others. And I actually like playing video games, so it's like I don't want to do something and eventually to lose interest in it. Or another thing where it's just like I actually kind of like to do when I'm like I actually worked in a music venue for one day as a janitor, and I couldn't do it. In the CD store, same thing. Because I just enjoyed those things too much to actually work around them.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever worked around anything I've liked. Well, that's not true. I guess when I was at school at UTSA, I was their main sound guy, and I was like the music lab like supervisor. So actually, no, I enjoyed those tremendously. I'm wrong, but those weren't like high paying jobs. Like they were just like,
and they're all freelance, but yeah.
And then then the school kind of like tricked me into having 3 different paychecks so they wouldn't have to give me benefits.
Of course.
Shout out to UTSA. I always remember that.
Fuck that, yeah.
No benefits.
I recall that. Yeah, that's here at least they gave me benefits, but the pay is significantly less than what I'll be making with Dell. But yeah, like I said earlier, there's a much bigger payoff at end.
Yeah. From I think what I read when I was doing research, I think now just like more people want to teach in Japan, and it's not like the 90s. Like I think like if you did it in the 90s, like you would make way more money teaching English than now, but now it's more popular. So yeah,
There are other countries that pay better though. Like apparently, China pays really well, and the Middle East pays really well.
those I heard especially Middle East goes hard, but but I don't necessarily want to be there. You know,
Right. Same here. I'm not trying to get shot. You know.
I mean, it depends with where you at
Yeah.
in the Middle East, and even like China. China wouldn't be like the worst thing. Like, but I don't know. I just don't want to. It doesn't like interest me. It might be pop culture, right? That of Japan that maybe like, but I wouldn't mind Korea. I wouldn't mind Korea.
Yeah, eventually I want to go there on a vacation as well. But yeah, obviously, you want to be somewhere where you like being.
Yeah,
So that's a big part of it. And culturally, Japan puts a lot of effort in exporting their products out to us in America.
Yeah.
Whether it's anime or different types of sushi or just different goods that they have. And it's a variety of different items. Cars. Japan is a huge imprint on American culture.
Yeah, I drive
nowadays.
a Nissan.
We dropped some bombs on them,
Yeah. You mentioned you mentioned sushi. Is it better there?
It's actually honestly, it's about the same. From what in Austin has some pretty credible spots. Like I thought, Curl Revolving Sushi. That was my favorite restaurant in Austin. Yep,
I have not been to that one. I've not been to that one.
It's totally worth it. Basically, you spend like $3 a plate. And then it has different colored plates. In Japan, they have different price models depending on the color of the plate. But yeah, they serve you different sushi, and it's on a conveyor belt. And you pick and choose, and you pay by the plate.
Okay.
This will kind of sneak up on you, though. So you end up spending $20 or $30. I usually drop $20, $30 on a meal there.
The experience.
Yep. It's a cool experience. They're very popular here. And then in Austin, that place, you sometimes will get like an hour wait. So you got to kind of be careful. But it's definitely worth going to. It's right next to a bookstore that sells like exclusively Japanese books almost, and like mangas and different types of books. Kinokuniya, right by 99 Ranch. That was like my favorite area to go while I was living in Austin.
Now that you live there, I guess what are you most looking forward to doing now that you have way more time than the 2-week trips you used to take and stuff?
Well, school's about to start, so I won't have much time in starting tomorrow.
Yeah, but you have minimum a year, right? Right?
Yeah. Well, I do want to play Final Fantasy VII. That's my first. Yeah, I've been waiting on that one. Yeah. But other than that, I'd like to go to Sapporo, Hokkaido area, the north part of Japan.
Okay.
I heard about this Kumamoto, which is where I can get basashi. That's horse meat.
Oh.
That's something I want to try. It's like a 3-hour trip to go to Kumamoto, but I think it's Kumanoto or one or the other. But yeah, I'm definitely going to do that. Other than that, I've already been to Tokyo. I've been to Kyoto. I had training in Osaka. Been to Nara. Been to Hakone. It would be cool to go to Hiroshima. See, Disney Earthsea would be nice. It's like a Disney theme park just based off the water characters.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it Disney owned or like I guess? Or...
Oh yeah, it's a major theme park. But
what is a water character? Like, is it Pirates of the Caribbean? like Little
Mermaid?
Little
Mermaid, Pirates of the Caribbean, Finding Nemo. There's a whole list of these characters.
Why is this some Japan stuff I don't get? That like they're like, yo, we really like these water movies. like
Well, I mean, they're an island, so there's a lot of water. I mean, seafood's very commonly very available here. Yeah, so it's probably part of it. This is a cultural thing of why they made a whole theme park dedicated to water characters in Disney. I mean, obviously there's Disneyland, but I've been to Disney World in Orlando numerous times. I even went back over the holidays, like this past year, visited family, and I got to go to Star Wars and land and do all that stuff.
Oh wow! I wonder if this theme park has a name or a section.
Oh yeah,
just because he's a Mario.
They're not open right now, but
yeah,
that's another thing. The coronavirus has closed all the major tourist areas. Like I went to Himeji Castle last week, and the castle itself is closed. You can walk around the park.
Wow.
There's like a park or get to see sakura trees. I went with like a small group of my fellow colleagues, my ALT colleagues. It was okay. I'd rather go when the castle's open, but it was a decent day trip.
What is it normally like when it's open? Like is it a theme park or something or like?
Oh, Himeji Castle is like a Japanese castle.
Oh, like a real castle. Okay.
A real castle, yeah. I just looked it up. It's a white castle you may have seen photos of.
Okay.
Like the white Japanese castle. You've definitely seen pictures of it. The very famous place.
Gotcha.
But yeah, do stuff like that. Play Final Fantasy 7. That's basically all I really want to do. Yep.
Assuming one, things return to normal, and two, yeah, assuming things turn to normal, the events start coming back at some point. You'll probably go to like Tokyo Game Show, right?
Most likely. Yeah, I want to play some shows out here once I get kind of into the routine of things. That's a whole other track. I'd have to meet people in the scene here and stuff to find shows, or who would be interested in having a gaijin perform for an all Japanese audience. But I'd be certainly interested in doing it. I did keep my Ableton Push. Yeah, so maybe I can, get back into making some music once I kind of get.
Now
Now would be a
inspired
good
by
time to do
Japan
it,
too.
Yeah,
man.
it'd be really cool. I've been listening to the Abroad in Japan podcast every week, and gives me a lot of inspiration.
Well, what's that about?
It's a British guy who was an ALT, assistant language teacher. It's my job title, and did this like years ago, and then he's been a very successful YouTuber, and he does a podcast every week. Yep,
that's what's up. When you do get back into like the music mode, you gotta let me know, dude. I want to do one track with you.
Sure.
And I know you were saying around the time of the podcast, it probably needs to be around the themes that you talk about. So I might have said this to you already, but I feel like an anime waifu song, that would be really cool.
Yeah, honestly, that's cool and all, and that's honestly only a fraction of the culture here, which is kind of cool. It's one of those things.
I'm not
like
saying
people,
like I'm saying that would be our collab track. I'm not saying you need to do that
in
by
general,
yourself.
Yeah. But I'm just saying though, is that there's a lot of Japanese people here who don't like anime.
Yeah, I know.
It's very like some people may be surprised by that. Especially people like myself who do regularly watch anime and read manga and stuff. They just think it's just like weeb headed, and it is. But at the same time, there's a lot of other things in addition to that. And then people give me shit for liking anime and manga back in the States, and it's not realistic, but it is made by Japanese people and it is deeply rooted in Japanese culture. So you do learn a lot from it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not the only thing Japan offers.
No. They also made
hiking,
Street Fighter.
Sushi. Yeah, it's kind of like saying, Street Fighter. There's other video games. But outside of otaku stuff, there's a lot that you can do in Japan. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, like in my head, I wanted to ask you questions I know you're likely to say no to. Like, are you gonna go? I mean, everything's canceled, so it's not even gonna happen in May. But the most important Street Fighter tournament in my heart, the Street Fighter 3 tournament that happens every year, Cooperation Cup in Japan, is 100% free tournament. It's 5-man teams.
I would lose in the first round. I suck at Street Fighter.
I mean, you don't even gotta play it. It's just awesome. It's just like
Is it in Tokyo?
I don't remember. And then this year, normally it's always January, but this year is the first year they moved it to May because Evo was going to be in January and blah, blah, blah.
E3 got postponed.
Yeah. So everything got postponed, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, there's some concerts coming up, and those all got postponed and canceled and moved around. But yeah, it's an interesting thing with concerts. There's no dedicated website. You just I think Songkick is like the easiest one to find concerts around here. They're all in the cities, like Osaka and some in Kobe, but that's like a 2-hour ride from where I'm at.
Do you got to follow maybe the bands independently?
Yeah, that's what you'd have to do.
Like the first thing that comes to mind, you keep saying those cities, is one of my favorite bands back in the day, not so much now, but back in the day from Japan was Durian Gray. And I think in 1999 they dropped the Osaka Johal concert, That was a great show. Like it's still on. It's probably all on YouTube now. It's so easy now to watch shit. But every time I hear Osaka, I think of that stuff. Oh man.
I mean, like the Namba, Zepp Osaka, Bayside. I think those are some of the venues
Tokyo,
there.
right? That was a spot.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay. It's in Tokyo because they played Tokyo.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, probably. That's another thing is that there's a lot of like bands and performers I've never even heard of, but they have they may have a very small following here in the States, but in Japan they're headlining stadiums and shit. It's nuts.
Yeah, a lot of my Japanese discography is probably dated by now. Like they're all like OG legends, or they've all retired, or some have died. Like just with time. Yeah, because I don't
I'm
really
curious.
know the scene anymore.
I remember them. Yeah, as they were trying to push hard to get into the States like years ago.
Who,
I think I
Darian
was in
Gray?
high school. Yeah.
Yeah, they did like their first tour was they did a South by and then they did Corn um Family Values and then they played a bunch of shows. But they would always play Houston and back then I was just too lazy to drive out to Houston.
I'm
So
curious. Dirt and Gray. Let's see if they're still active.
oh they are. I don't want to say unfortunate. It's surprising. It's still the same
see.
5 members. Like
Yep.
they've been very consistent to themselves. But the long story short with that band for me is that when they were younger, they were more into like trying new things, but they're one of those bands that once they discovered like metal, they kind of never left it, and then it got really boring for me. Like yeah, like they always flirted with metal, like it'd be maybe 2 to 3 tracks, but once they did a whole album, they were like, why would we do anything else? And they never stopped doing it. And it got really boring, and all their music has the same color now. So, yeah.
That happens a lot. But there's also that collectivist culture thing as well, where Japanese people are afraid to stand out. So even in the classrooms, they're going to not want to raise their hands to volunteer, and you don't want to pick out or single out anybody. So you have to kind of show your attention to everyone, which is kind of tough to keep in mind. But.
So yeah, obviously I've never been to Japan, but looking at them from afar and then looking at when I was like a hardcore person, I think they always stood out for Japan in that they were always trying to do shock value imagery because, they were a VK group, Visual Kai or Key or however you say those words. But
Visual K.
Yeah. But once they got access to the world and you start playing Whackin' and like all those like world festivals and they're all heavily metal based, sometimes I wonder like, well, this might be good for our bank account if we play the music that the festival is like, now we can world tour and not just Japan tour,
Well, that's actually that's probably a decent decision for a lot of those bands to go, especially if they're trying to remain making music. It's better to be a band and still be touring and making money than not being able to do it at all and working day jobs.
For sure, absolutely. Like another band, I can't remember what their Japanese name because I feel like they have a Japanese name too, but MUCC Muck. They're still active. Like they definitely have songs where they still sound Japanese. I think the Backhorn is still active. There's a bunch, but
there's a ton of stuff like that.
Yeah, I used to love Boom Boom Satellites, but one of them died of like head cancer or something, or a tumor, something like that. I think a year ago. Yeah,
I need to like kind of pay more attention to more Japanese music. I mean, I do, but I don't at the same time.
You know who you should see for me? You should see Ling. Probably have better chance of seeing TK, but you should see Ling Toshite Shigure, if I even said that right, but.
Yeah, send me the names.
Most people know that guy just because he did that. I don't like this anime, but he did the theme of Tokyo Ghoul.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. But he's
like what season?
The first one, and maybe another one later. But he did that the very first one, the intro song.
I remember that one. Yeah. I thought it was a different band though.
TK did it. TK is the lead of that band.
The vocal. Okay, it's like something like People Under the Stairs or some weird.
They have a
band.
bunch. They have a bunch of intros, but TK definitely did one.
But...
No, TK's not a rapper. He's a badass guitar player, high pitched singer guy.
Got it.
But yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't know if you've watched Demon Slayer yet, but I've heard that opening everywhere: grocery stores, dollar stores, okonomiyaki restaurants.
Who made it?
Lisa, Lisa.
Okay.
It's like Gurenge or something is the title in Japanese, but basically it's the opening for Kimetsu no Yaiba, Demon Slayer.
After I talked to you, a second person mentioned it to me, and I'm like, should I watch this? Now I'm hearing it. I'm hearing it from multiple people.
It's amazing. I'm hooked. Like I've read most of the manga even. I like the show that much. So and it's a newer series, so it's not intimidating like One Piece or something to get into. And Demon Slayer actually outsold One Piece in manga sales last year.
Oh wow. There's a new king in town.
Yep, new king in town. But no, it's a good show. It kind of blends like traditional Japanese lore with modern anime tropes. So it's something that's current, but also kind of nods to the past, which is kind of cool. So it's like a typical shonen anime with a lot of like Japanese kimonos, swords, demons, or yokai as they call it, is demons. But you get the idea.
Yeah,
it's worth a watch.
So, I liked it. You haven't been in Japan too long yet, so this might be a silly question, but what is one thing from your brief time there, and you visited though. But what's one thing I would be surprised, considering that I've never been there? You know,
Oh, I've already got a list.
a
I was
list.
just thinking about this, like a small list. It wasn't much of a list of things I don't like or things I was like, damn it. Well, first is none of the anime, or we're talking about anime and manga, none of it's in English here. And the stuff that was on Netflix, Crunchyroll, and Funimation, you can't get them here. You have to use a VPN to access those.
Yeah.
But typically, yeah, you can't use Funimation or Crunchyroll here. Netflix Japan is amazing, but all their animes and stuff is in Japanese and no English subs.
Really? No English sub? Like even
That's right.
I get that when they're brand new, like
Netflix
Seven Deadly
originals.
Sins.
Those are good. Netflix originals have English subs.
Okay, that makes okay. I'll take that.
But anything that is not a Netflix original
Yes.
is not subbed. So your most popular shows are not subbed. And like if I was gonna watch Demon Slayer on Netflix Japan, no subs. So I'd have to like VPN into Crunchyroll for it.
Damn.
Yep.
The struggle.
But
man.
yeah, oh yeah. And then the other one, movie theaters, even worse. Like I used to love going to the movie theaters. I loved going to Alamo Draft House in Austin. I went like every week, just about every week. I had the season pass. I went hard. Like last week there, I saw 5 movies in 1 week.
Damn.
So I was never going to see Alamo Draft House again. So I milked that season pass all I could. But anyway, movie theaters here, they do screen English movies, but it's usually Japanese subtitles, or they'll even dub the movie in Japanese. It'll tell you on the ticket, or like when you're online looking at buying tickets. Otherwise, like all the Japanese movies, no subs.
Damn.
Yeah, so you got to get ready for that. That's one thing I didn't like. So yeah, your show options, especially if you did like watching Japanese shows, are very limited. All the American shows, you can watch those. Like I watched the Tiger King documentary. I was able to watch that here. No problem. Man. Yeah, it was a shit show, but it was fun to watch.
Shit show in a good way or bad? Because I still haven't seen it, and
it's trash. It's trashy TV.
Cool,
but it's kind of funny, just the ridiculousness of it, and yeah. But anyway, about that is just you can access American shows here. So yeah, so that's the bottom line. There is you can access American shows pretty easily. Disney Plus is not available. I don't know Hulu, but yeah, Netflix is okay, and they have a lot more extensive selection of shows for the most part. It's just a rights issue, though. It's kind of weird. Is that I can use Crunchyroll to watch so and so show, but I can't on Netflix Japan. That's one. That's a minor gripe, if any. The language barrier. That's another one. Let me see. I actually had a list I typed out. Let me check. Let's pull out the phone real quick.
Do you know like if Japan like what for music, like are they on streaming yet or what? Like are they using Spotify?
Oh yeah, a lot of those bands are on Spotify.
Yeah, well it took them. They were like some of the latest people. But like is the culture of Japan?
Honestly, there's a lot of websites that I'm not familiar with that people use. Like they don't really use Google Maps. Apparently they use some other map navigation service, but from what I've seen is that someone's like, oh, they don't use Google Maps here. It's like bullshit. I've seen people using Google Maps. Like my driver yesterday with the schools, he was using Google Maps to get around. So he's a Japanese guy. And let me see. There's also Nico Deco or something. It's another video website, like kind of outside YouTube.
Yeah, the Nico.
Like there's Japanese people use that more than YouTube. Like you'll have a Japanese band upload a video, get a million views, whatever.
It's the one where you see the chat's going like this, right? No. The
horizontal. You mean like for vertical katakana, hiragana, and katakana?
No. Like I just mean like if it's the one I'm thinking of, like whatever video is going on, whatever the audience is chatting. Like instead of Twitch chat being like in the right, usually it's just displaying it like on top and stuff, Oh,
that's annoying, but yeah,
it is annoying. But I've noticed that over there way more than here. So.
Oh, here's a couple other gripes that I had. Before we get into video games. Most games here cost about 8,000 yen, so that's like $80
the
for
premium.
a new video game. That's for the standard edition, not the deluxe. So yeah, and some games will be evenly priced. Like Animal Crossing was like $60, which is fair. But I know Final Fantasy would cost me like 9,000. But I ended up just buying the digital, like in PlayStation Store, which actually works here. Yeah. So I was able to use my US account for the eShop and the PSN. But yeah, new video games can be pricey, and most of them are not in English.
That makes sense.
So you got to watch out for that.
Because I've bought stuff from the Japanese store here on my PS3. So
Yeah,
I had to like
right.
convert money into like yen. It was an annoying process, but it
The
got
exchange
done.
rate actually plays in our favor though, is that a dollar is like worth 108 yen.
Mm,
So it kind of like I would withdraw like $500 from my American account, and it would be like $466 and like 550,000 yen, for
mm,
example. Yep. So it actually plays in our favor.
okay.
Um, let's see. Another one is this is much more practical outside of otaku shit, but protein's really hard to get here. Most food is so high in carbs. That's one thing I don't like is that I log my food in my fitness pal every day. I'm just so like I lost 100 pounds, so I had to do a few things in order to do that. So that's
Yeah.
one of the habits I've maintained. But yeah, I've noticed that like my protein intake is significantly lower than what it was in the U.S. So I'm just now figuring out ways to get like my supplements I used. Like I
Okay.
just got creatine and I just got whey protein. Fiber supplements, you need to have those because it's kind of hard to get fiber here. I
Mm.
used to love Quest bars, but they're not available here in Japan.
Oh, you're
Um,
on. Okay. I still haven't tried any Quest products, but I listened to one of
fucking
the
amazing.
founders' podcasts like
Quest,
religiously. Like,
yeah, Quest bars have insanely high fiber. They have like 14 grams of fiber in them, which is nuts.
mm.
Yeah, especially because when I was 300 pounds, I used to have gastroesophageal reflux disease from
Oh
acid
wow.
reflux because I was so fat, so heavy. So I ended up fixing that problem about a year or 2 years ago. I lost weight, but yeah, the Quest bars, I get sweets cravings a lot. And I love Japanese ice cream. That's another topic altogether. But yeah, is they give you the ability of have like 20 grams of protein. You get like a Rocky Road flavor, all kinds of sweets types of flavors of food that you would love to eat, but probably wouldn't be the best for you food wise.
Mm.
Like maple syrup pancakes, birthday cakes, that kind of stuff. Yeah, Quest is great. I love them. Wish they were here, but
They're yeah, I've just heard it described like, healthy, good tasting food. That's it.
oh yeah,
So,
they're amazing. I
yeah.
highly recommend them. I used to buy them like the 14 packs on Amazon or go to HEB and get the 4 boxes. So
That
yeah, it was
doesn't
good
work
stuff.
like can you not get it off Amazon, or is it like a high import price or what?
High import price.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like 5,000 yen for a box, and that's like $50.
Oh shit.
If I'm not, it's a lot. Yeah, it's not worth it. Um,
What
yeah,
is Japanese
so
ice cream? You mentioned that. I can't let that go by. I can't
fucking holy shit. Well, they have konbinis here, which is your 7-Eleven Lawson's, and a konbini is Japanese word for convenience store.
Okay.
And holy shit. They have this thing called coolish, which is my favorite. It's like little ice cream in a tube, like a square shaped tube. You suck
Mm.
on it. It's like kind of like a jelly if you've ever had those.
Okay.
Like little calorie mate jelly or protein jelly.
Nah. I've
It's
never
like
had
that's
that, but
good. But yeah, once you try it, you never go back. It's
mm.
so good. They also have different ones where they have like little coned ice creams, little cup on top of it. I just tried the soda can, the bottle shaped ones. You just rip the top off and then you just squeeze out the ice cream stuff inside.
Mm.
Obviously, there's the Pocky ones. My favorite. There's a couple. It's like a crepe in a frozen package, like a tiramisu crepe. There's all kinds of weird shit in the convenies. And there's even vending machines. They have ones like in shape of a square, kind of like a waffle in a square with ice cream inside of it. And then
Mm.
anything a red bean or taiyaki is the one that's shaped like tuna. They're shaped like a fish. You've probably
Mm.
seen that in Asian grocery stores. They have the saman. I used to buy them at H Mart. They have the samanko ones. It's like red bean flavor and ice cream and like a fried fish. Or if you go to Snowy Village, they have those in Austin, like a dessert place. You can
Okay.
get taiyakis there. Yeah.
I'm a big milkshake guy. Any special milkshakes going on over there? Like,
Oh, yeah, Japan loves seasonal shit. That's another gripe I have about Japan is that there's excessive packaging. They individually package everything. And it gets to a point where they're very concerned about making sure trash gets recycled. You put combustibles in one area and non-combustibles in another, or stuff you can burn.
mm.
And so they're very meticulous about trash. They have like 4 different trash. There's not many trash cans around, so you have to kind of hold your trash when you're walking around the cities until you find a trash can. So it's recommended to have like a little drawstring bag or something
Damn.
to carry your trash in. Yeah, but they individually package everything because they think it's going to look better, more aesthetically pleasing to get people to buy it. And it's just a double standard, catch 22, contradiction, whatever,
Mm.
oxymoron. But yeah, it's just one of those things. It's like, huh? Why do you individually package everything? But if you want to, conserve the environment and recycle everything, but That's a minor gripe I've had, but kind of annoying.
Mm.
Little observation with Japan, or when I've been buying stuff on Amazon, is have tons of packaging everywhere. I'd have to like throw out my stuff. Luckily, I live right. There's a trash can right by where I live in my apartment.
Trash can struggle, dude. You're like, luckily there's a trash can near me.
Yeah, there's some conveniences that don't have trash cans.
Yeah.
Or in the cities when you're walking around, like Tokyo especially, or Kyoto, there's not many trash cans to be found. And luckily, they're by the trains. And when you jump on a train, there's like a little trash can.
But yo,
or when I went to Fuji Rock last year, there was someone that was watching people throw out the trash in the right areas. And it was kind of, okay, this one, that one, that one. Yeah, so they're very serious about their trash.
But yo, milkshakes. Anything about milkshakes? Yeah.
I haven't had a milkshake here. I have had bubble tea quite a bit, though.
I could never get into bubble tea, man.
Oh, it's fucking good.
I know. That's
so
what
good.
everyone says. That was
mental.
That invaded the FGC, probably because, Asian culture is a big part of it. But, like, I just never could get into it, man. The fighting game community is FGC. But anyway, I could never get into it. I tried it.
Try the right flavor.
That's probably it. I probably haven't tried the right one, but so far so disappointed. So, and then I don't necessarily like all that, whatever that big stuff is you're sucking on the straw, man.
Tapioca.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. I love all that. Bubble tea is amazing. You just got to get the right flavors. I tried Taro Cream Blast. That's a good one. Honeydew is pretty good. I had a brown sugar one, which is just insane. Yeah, so you just got to try the right flavor. Thai tea is actually pretty good too. But you can just go to Tapioca Lounge. They got those all over Austin, especially in the north side, and you can easily get your fix.
Maybe
milk tea. That's solid.
Maybe I didn't say it, but like, yeah, man, like right before the lockdowns, I ended up actually moving back to San Antonio, dude. So my Austin days,
that's right.
They're kind of gone. Like, cause I saw what was going on in the coastal cities, and like I said, we've been trailing the coastal cities. So I was like, I'd rather spend that with the family than with the people I was living with, because they weren't bad
San
people.
Antonio, though.
But, what's up?
They probably have those places in San Antonio, though.
Maybe.
I don't know about the lockdowns, or if they're doing deliveries, but
maybe,
or how that's gonna work. But is it true that you guys are having a beer delivery now?
I bet you. I bet you.
I got an email about that on Do512, because I still get their emails.
You probably got to get the right place, because I know somebody, the next door neighbor, tried to get cigarettes, and he was trying to get me to do it. I was like, dude, just use like Favor or something. And he said they're not doing stuff like that because they're only doing drop off, and normally they would card you. So I guess it depends on the service, so they can card you.
Yeah, I know I received emails about people like getting beer deliveries and stuff, and that Texas had passed a law allowing people to have beer delivered to them.
So you know what? Since you said Do512 and that's like event stuff, with some of the bars that they're closed, they were trying to still do like kind of fancy stuff that they could still somewhat, make money while being closed, So maybe it was from the bars directly and not like a liquor store or something, So,
right. Yeah, it was definitely the bars.
Yeah. No, they were doing that. A lot of bars have been trying to do that. So, yeah man. Any way to survive, man. Any way to survive.
# social distancing.
There you go.
Yeah, I've been doing that my whole life, and now it's like a freaking
everything we've been into, right? Eventually becomes fame. Anime, right? Yeah. Japanese culture, Korean culture. Look, I still have in my garage a VHS of 1999, right, or 2000, whatever year it was. Skinny Psy, PSY. You remember Psy, Gundam style, Like I still have him on VHS, and I never. VHS. Yeah, VHS. Yes, right. Video cassette. VHS.
They had. I was remember in 2012 when that song came out. And
no, not that song. I just mean like because I was into K-pop, like that. Being in New York, I was into K-pop.
He was an OG.
Yeah, he is an OG. Yeah.
He just had that one song.
But I'm just saying, everything we've been into eventually became pop culture.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
I love it though. It's cool.
And now social distance, and now having no friends is pop culture. Everything, dude.
# social distancing.
There you go, man. Is that being like promoted frivolously over there?
It's here, but it's one of those things where the grocery stores are still open. The gyms are still open here.
See, that is not happening here. The gym part.
Yeah, I know.
My friend was
got
complaining.
emails. Luckily, they're not charging me for golds until because I looked into canceling my membership, but their website is down because of the coronavirus. But I saw that they posted a statement saying they're not going to charge people until they're open again. So
do they have golds in Japan?
They do.
Okay.
How this one works, I don't live anywhere near one. I was able to use a fitness passport. I got a travel pass the day before I left. And so I was actually able to go to the gyms in Osaka and Kobe. So I used them 6 times because I'd go 5 days a week. I got into a habit of just going. And so I lost all this weight. But this is a whole other topic of discussion, but gyms are very complicated in Japan. You have to have an indoor pair of shoes. You can't use your outdoor shoes. And then also, if you have tattoos, you have to cover them. And don't tell them if you have tattoos. I wear like the thermal hoodies. The Uniqlo has this brand called Heat Tech or Aerisms. I wear those. And just cover up. Like I have a sleeve and neck tattoo and a couple leg tattoos, and so I got to cover all those with tights and neck pieces and hoodies, and it's a big pain in the ass, and you got to wear indoor shoes. And then gyms are kind of expensive here too. Like some of them have day passes, but they can cost you like 2,700 yen, which is like $27 for a single workout.
Damn, that's like going to a rock climbing spot or something.
Oh yeah, I did find one in walking distance from me. There's 2 that I live walking distance from. They charge me at 550 yen a day. It's like $5.
Oh, okay.
Per workout. It was a little more sensible. It does add up. There's another one. Now that I have my Japanese bank account, once I get my car situation sorted out, I'm probably going to check them out and see if I like them.
Yeah.
And then switch gyms. But overall, I've been going to this one. They're closed on Tuesdays for some reason. So,
hey, man.
And then
day of rest.
My day off. Yep. Yeah. This is kind of weird because Tuesdays would be a prime day for me to go to a gym. But I know like at Dell, like I'd work and then I'd go straight there. I wouldn't even go home because I knew once I got home, I wouldn't want to do shit. So, that's how that story.
So obviously, everybody knows you lost weight and all that, but like, hearing it here, dude, like, I feel like you take that way more seriously than I understood. You mentioned the creatine and all that. Like, can you go into like what is your workout routine? Like, what do you take? What are the habits that you've instilled?
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw a trainer for about 2.5 years. When I first started, I weighed 315 pounds. I think was the highest recorded weight I have, if I remember right. Till the end of 2016, beginning of 2017, I started having symptoms with acid reflux, and I thought I was having a heart attack. So I obviously had a lot of anxiety about it, and I used to go see doctors, and so that's incentivized me to get my ass into a gym. So I'd never gone before that, and I was in my early 30s. Still am, but I was like, so I hadn't gone to a gym at all in my 20s. But anyway, so I did all that. Saw a trainer taught me the basics, and eventually I was spending about $200 a month, $230 a month on the trainer and the membership. And over time, like I had a decent relationship, but over time I decided to stop working with him. But until then, it was a pretty long time. And I guess I'd log my food in my FitnessPal. I used a meal delivery service called Freshly in order to prevent me from having to. I noticed when I stopped cooking when I lived in the States because I was heavy-handed. I'd throw too much extra stuff in when I was cooking, which would raise calories. Plus, I would eat a snack while I was cooking. So
I've been guilty of that too. Yeah.
Yep. See, that's why I stopped cooking. So I've gotten more back into it recently because out of necessity, since they don't have such fancy meal delivery services, and I'm obviously making a lot less money now. But so that's all what happened. Then I'd go and I also started a thing, which I haven't done it here yet, but I would download episodes of animes on my tablet, on my iPad. I called it the anime workout plan. I would go to the elliptical, watch 2 episodes, be at 40 minutes, and good 600 to 700, 800 calories.
Damn.
Off of doing like a 40-minute elliptical session watching anime. So I was already spending time doing stuff that I would have done already. So I was able to watch a lot of my shows that way. And then obviously I'd lift weights for an hour, 2 hours, 4 or 5 days a week on average. I did kind of slack here and there. Or there were times where I'd be guilty of midnight snacking, binge eating a couple of times, just different things to where it would affect my progress. But overall, like as I remained consistent, it took about 3 years, but I lost 100 pounds. Yep. I used my FitnessPal to track my calories. I had a routine set at work where I packed everything inside my lunchbox. I didn't buy it I didn't go to the school cafeteria except for I like the oatmeal there, so I used to buy the oatmeal, coffee, and coffee was an appetite suppressant. So that's why I drink a lot of coffee now. It's a good way to suppress appetite, or instead of just like maybe midnight snacking or something, just going to bed is another effective way to try to. No, seriously,
Just shut down. Just shut down.
just shut down. Yeah, like if it's like midnight or something, and my body's starting to go to sleep, but I'm craving that midnight snack, I'm like, I just go to bed instead of like reaching, going. And that's another thing. I used to buy these enlightened ice cream bars. They have them, the Halo Tops, like protein infused ice cream. I used to buy those at HEB, and they don't have them here, but they were nutritious ice cream bars, about 100 calories, and they had protein in them. But they were a way to like over like sweets cravings because I absolutely love sweets. Yep.
In the gym, do you follow like a routine, like, or
that was the routine? Like the anime workout plan thing, I would lift weights, I'd do upper body.
Oh, so that's
body,
part of the 2 hours, the 40 minutes, and then like weights as well? Okay.
Yeah. I noticed that I would get fatigued after doing cardio first. So I would have to alternate. I kind of depending on mood, but usually it's a better idea to lift before doing cardio. Yep. You get better results from lifts that way. But also I would need to warm up, and usually I'd use cardio for that. But half the time I wouldn't really be feeling it, so I just do the cardio first. But I just made it a habit of going like right after work.
It's a lifestyle discipline, dude. That's good, man.
It was tough, yeah. It was very tough. Like I still loved doing. Honestly, I didn't have too much like social obligations. Like I had friends, but at the same time, I wasn't very close, and I'd stopped using Facebook for 8 months. So it was one of those things where I only heard from certain people, and those are the people I spent more time with. But other than that, like I didn't have a whole lot of obligations of, people asking me to do stuff. So I was able to kind of be more in control of what I wanted to do. Or I just felt like I was kind of in my own personal prison in a way, just staying home, playing my games, working out. And that's all I really did when I lived in Austin.
That is what Austin like post, like, yeah, because we did our podcast, I think, post August. So I was already like, I think, in a depression funk. But like,
yeah,
in a way to get out of it, that's what Austin kind of became for me, man. Like it was, because that was my first time living without family, and I kind of treated like that, and I didn't say like prison like a bad thing, but it was just kind of like my rehab, get right in my ship, So.
It's tough though. It's one of those things where you get used to kind of. That's what I'm gonna experience a little bit of that here too. Is that obviously I'm in a country where I don't know a lot of people, and I may not like all my coworkers or ALTs that I'm paired with, or that that are in my area, and I'll be a lot more isolated with other people. So I'd have to find like other meetup groups once the coronavirus stuff stops, or just to find ways to incentivize myself to travel alone more often, which I'm fine with doing now. It's just less bullshit. I'm able to just kind of go when I want to. But just getting the motivation and the funds to do this kind of stuff is that's going to be a big one. Because in Austin, I felt like I had been everywhere I wanted to go. Been to all the venues, all the spots. I didn't really have too much interest in seeing some of these other places over and over again.
Yeah.
So at least with Japan, I can at least go here, and there over time.
Yeah, man. You need something.
And if I don't like it, I don't have to continue. I could always, like, once my visa expires, I don't have to renew. If I don't like it after a year, if I want to, I could. But yeah, I'll let time figure it out. Just one thing at a time right now.
Yeah, man.
That's basically how I'm looking at it.
That's the best. That's the best way to be.
Yeah.
Yo, so, man, I hit you with the life questions again, and then we can get you out of here.
Yeah, I thought you've been throwing those at me the whole time.
Oh.
Yeah, what's up?
Well, I got like my list like of this was all freestyle, but I mean but I have like this list, and then we usually end it and stuff. But I gotta find it first. Hold on.
Yeah.
All right. Some of these are new. But let me ask you this. Who is your best friend?
That always varies based on time and situation. I don't like calling out names and then just pick. I don't believe in like favoritism. Is everyone has like their own. There are certain topics I could talk to some people about, and certain topics I wouldn't dare to ask them about. So it really just depends on what the topic is or situation. So I couldn't really call. I don't have anyone that I would say is like, Bonnie and Clyde or best friends, or what's Calvin and Hobbes or whatever the fuck trying to examples. It's always just based off of just situational
Damn.
stuff.
Calvin and Hobbes on old school. Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's go.
Yeah, I can't even think of whatever, like, buddy cop scenarios. I can't think of anything like that. But the people that I have spent time with, I think they're all, great people. I'm glad to have in my life, and I've been able to keep up with, ever since moving even. So far,
All right.
to answer your question though.
Here's one. What are you?
What? I don't fucking know what I am. Yeah, it doesn't to anyone though. It's like, who am I? Where am I? What is your sense of being? We're all just trying to figure that out. I don't think anyone's ever figured that out.
What is your greatest failure?
Greatest failure? There's a lot of those. There's a lot of those. Oh, I have an embarrassing story since this is podcast. This is very embarrassing, but I'm gonna say it is it's kind of relevant. It's so musically I went to a festival in Miami back in college. It's 2006. All right, so yeah, this is a big fuck up. So I'm very embarrassed. But anyways, yeah, so I at the time did not know who Daft Punk was, and they played a festival, and I chose to see Duran Duran over Daft Punk. And this was a big fuck up in my life. I didn't know that they were going to quit doing shows.
Yeah.
And a year later, they became my favorite band and who inspired me to be CBM.
Oh,
and a year later, after I had the chance to see them at a festival, that's a big failure.
Damn.
Yep.
That's wild.
I've been aching for the chance to see Daft Punk ever
Never
again.
Gonna happen. You've probably walked by
right.
them, and you don't even know. But you'll never.
Very possibly.
But you'll never see them on stage.
But no, I hadn't heard "Around the World" or whatever all those other songs, "Robot Rock." I hadn't heard any of those until a year after that festival experience.
Look, right now we're in the perfect world for everybody. Everybody's streaming now, whether it be Twitch, right? All the famous artists. Daft Punk is like, we good. Not even for this virus. We're still not streaming nothing. Nothing.
Well, they're on Spotify. It's one of those things where I
meant like live. Like they're not even doing a live show, like streaming, in the comfort of their own home. So
yeah, nope. Well, a lot of them is a lot of it has is planned around their image. It's a big part of who they are, but at the same time, they've had a sound that's influenced countless musicians overall, and they're like the first people. That's kind of like what Cowboy Bebop is, like the first anime people, or Death Note. It gets recommended in like recommendation lists.
Yeah,
that's the same thing with Daft Punk with like house music.
Oh yeah, I used to say Linkin Park was a gateway band back in the day. In their time. To be fair, I mentioned Duran Gray. Honestly, during their prime too, Duran Gray too was a gateway band at a certain point. You know?
But that was one of my biggest failures. Is passing up the chance to see who became my favorite band a year after I had the chance to see them. I didn't see them.
Definitely, Daft Punk had more influence, but I thought that about Duran Gray too. I was like, I feel like where they are, I'm like, I don't know if they're gonna be coming to the States no more. And they came like for a good 6, 7, 8 years, and I just said no every time. Like, I'll go next time. And then, even though this is not close to me, Boom Boom Satellites played in Maryland, and I'm like, that's not close at all. But it's close in that it's not Japan, it's America. Yeah. But then, then literally one of the guys dies last year, and I'm like, man, that was like one of my favorite groups, and that's it. So
yeah, big takeaway from that is if you do get a chance to see a band live that you really want to see, even if you think they're going to play again, it may not happen. So take the chance to see if you have the time, the money, the energy, desire to do it. Then that's another thing I learned, a valuable life lesson is from that life coach who I quit talking to is Ted, or I added Tedum, I added money, but time, energy, desire, money. These are just the 4 factors that if one of those doesn't, when making plans with other people, if it doesn't plan out, one of those checks off, it doesn't happen. But if you have the time, energy, desire, and money to go see a band that you have said, now go see them next time. Go see them because it may not happen.
Money bars. Let's go.
Yeah.
Some of these repeats from stuff I asked you before, but I feel like as life goes on, we have different answers. What do you believe what do you believe in that people think you're crazy for believing?
Shit, I never even thought about that one, honestly. Let me see. See if okay. I was just checking the chat to see if someone did ask questions, but
What chat?
people think I'm crazy. People think I'm crazy about.
What chat were you checking?
I was just checking the one that we're in for the Discord.
Oh, this is just me and you. I wasn't streaming it.
Oh shit.
That's
okay.
our chat to talk to each other.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I wasn't streaming it live. I'll upload it in like a day or two or something.
I remember like when I was in college predicting that electronic music would take over the industry. And people thought I was crazy for saying that, but obviously that happened and it came and go, and now it's kind of entered a new form of renaissance where people are trying to find ways outside of the laptop to create but still use technology.
See, once again, everything we were into became mainstream and more popular.
Yeah.
If you were rich, how would you live your life?
Shit. Doing what I'm doing now. Traveling the world. Yeah.
Shit. CBM, let's go. All right.
Yeah.
What's your goal in life?
At this point, I just want to experience the things. I want to enjoy my time here on Earth before I die. You know, it's one of those things. I thought about it. It's like everyone else I know is getting married, having kids. Both of my sisters are married. One of them has a kid, and it's like I don't want that life. I'd compare myself to others. That's why I stopped using social media. And it's just one of those things where, what do I really want to do for myself? And that's what brought me out here to Japan. Was one of those many factors. Was, if I'm not really going to plan on having kids or, or finding a serious relationship or any of that shit, I'm going to travel. So I'm going to at least experience life in other lands. And who says I'm going to remain in Japan the whole time? I could decide to go teach in another country if I'm good at this.
Yeah, man.
Maybe I do want to visit Korea at some point on vacation. It's a short flight from here.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. Yeah.
With this coronavirus, though, once that gets sorted.
Yeah, we'll pass. It may not pass.
I got to review my schedule. Yeah.
Then
once Final Fantasy VII's done. But that's other than that, those are my goals as of right now.
Yeah, you mentioned social media a few times, man. That too had like a severe effect on me. It took me a while to notice, and maybe someday like I'll be strong enough to pull away like you've done. But like what I've told you before, like my feeds are muted on everything that I'm on. I'm on there still so people can message me, and vice versa. But I usually don't check anyone's feed unless I happen to be talking to them in the moment. Then out of some type of like, I don't know, guilt or courtesy, then I'm like, well, I'm interacting with you. Why not see what you've been doing lately?
Yeah.
But
I just think a lot of that is just people seeking validation because it creates a dopamine effect where it's like, oh, you liked my post. Oh, it's like, oh, I feel good now. Someone validated me. Or I would post like links about shit that like I'd post about anime and stuff and I'd get no likes on it and I'd feel like shit afterwards. And then I'd get a post and it's kind of just dependent, just being more protective and because people on social media kind of only post what they want people to see of themselves and not the real them. So I just feel like it's like a mask that people wear, so I tend to avoid it. I posted that once recently just to tell people what I've been doing, and that's all good and gravy, but I don't plan on going back to posting anything regularly just because of those reasons.
I feel you, dude. I mean,
it's just one of those things where people are constantly seeking validation, whether it's an approval from social media or, to get their friends to like something that they're doing, or some kind of, oh, I need someone to approve, what I'm doing, and or to feel good about it, or just trying to go out of the way to impress others. You'll see this a lot in outside scenarios outside of social media, but it's just something where, you don't need to have anyone tell you what you want to do.
Yeah.
You can go and if you want to go to Japan, you can at any time. You just get your passport, get a plane ticket, save money, whatever. But to teach in Japan took like 2 years. I accepted this job a year ago. It's another thing.
Oh, wow.
Is that I drove to Dallas for this company. I actually had a CBM show the day after. So I spent 1 day in Dallas. I drove like after the interview, like I spent the night and then it was a whole day orientation. I went back home 3 weeks later after I went to Dallas for the interview orientation. I found out I got the job. And I was at a show with a friend of mine. And so that's basically how I found that out.
Damn, that's badass.
And then, I found out. And then basically I just I honestly regret. That was another failure. I regret putting off studying Japanese while I was in the States. I would try, but I would fail. And then I was addicted to video games. And I still am. Like I'm still playing. I think that's all I did was play video games these last like few weeks, like waiting for school to start. So yeah, I kind of failed there too. But I guess it's a good way to kind of relax your mind and get settled in. But yeah.
The company I tried for too, their stuff was in Dallas, the orientations and whatnot. What is 3 things you're thankful for in life?
3 things I'm thankful for. Entertainment. The media, well, our entertainment, whether it's games, music, movies, going places, travel, just anything that people use to occupy their times in their downtime. We all work, but at the same time, some people work. Someone told me once, some people work to live, and other people live to work. So most of us live to work these days, but some people work to live. So when you're living, you're obviously trying to entertain yourself. So you're trying to find some way to pass the time when or working on some kind of goal that would either enhance the lives of others or yourself, and that in itself can be a form of entertainment. So entertainment could be anything, but yeah, I'm thankful for entertainment.
Damn.
Let's see, what else am I thankful for in my life? Thankful I was able to keep my job at Dell so long as I did. I was able to save a good amount of money to be able to financially afford to do this. Let me see. I had to sell everything. So I sold pretty much everything I owned. Gave away a lot of stuff, sold everything else. And
so now your music gear is severely limited?
I just have an Ableton push in a laptop. That's it. Everything else is gone.
In the box.
I sold it or I trashed it. No, I literally got rid of everything. I watched Marie Kondo a lot last year about the idea of minimalism.
Oh, I know that girl. Yeah, I've never seen her stuff, but yeah.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, but basically, if it doesn't spark joy in your life within the last 6 months, let it set fire. But there's also a documentary on minimalism. I noticed I've been kind of buying a lot lately, but I live pretty minimally. Like I was able to pack all my stuff into 2 bags.
Yeah, Sean. Moses, when he saw my room last, he was like, "Damn, that's a pretty bare room." I was like, "Dude, I not the bed aside, that was here when I got here, but I was so proud, even though I still felt I had too much stuff. When I decided to move from Austin, I packed my car in like 3 hours, and everything in my room was in my car. Only 1 trip. I was so worried I was gonna have to do like 2, only 1 trip, and I was like, "Yeah, man," because I don't want to have a lot of shit, dude. I don't want to have a lot of shit. So.
Yeah, it's something that I've noticed. I've been buying a lot more stuff lately, but it's like I'm prepared to throw it all away. Like once I'm ready to leave here.
No attachments.
Like I got an IKEA light, and then I kept got like some clothes, an ironing board, stuff like that. But pots and pans, rice cooker, and electric kettle. Those have been my 2 home.
Rice cooker's the game changer, baby.
I fucking love life. But the electric kettle's even better.
Really?
And so I discovered them in the hotels where you just hit a button, it boils water for you within 2 minutes, not even, and then you just make instant coffee or tea. Golden. Yep, and I love instant coffee, so it's like perfect.
Okay.
The Keurigs aren't really a thing here. You don't really see too many Keurigs or K-cups. So it's mostly instant coffee or obviously the convenies will have different canned coffees, bottled coffees, hot drink coffees, and the vending machines. So they have like instant coffee is a big thing here. But to make it, they have like a variety of different ones here and different ways to make it. The electric kettle though, that was like the first thing I bought when I got here.
That's what's up.
When I got to my apartment.
Where you see yourself 3 years in the future?
3 years in the future?
Yeah.
That one, honestly, just as I mentioned earlier, I just want to do one thing at a time. Just get good at teaching, or at least not fuck up being here. Try to speak a little more Japanese. They appreciate it, even just knowing just little words here and there, at least trying. So that's what they want to see. It's one of those things that I'm technically not allowed to talk Japanese to my students when I'm teaching.
Oh, wow.
Or when because it's the immersion thing.
Okay.
So you don't technically have to know Japanese to live here, but it's going to be highly recommended in some of the scenarios I talked about earlier with the doctor's office and the police. It would definitely benefit you to know Japanese
for the rest of your life. For your life.
Yeah, for real life, it'll absolutely behoove you to learn a little Japanese.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
What
and
is
obviously, reading and writing, and writing not so much, but definitely reading and speaking are probably the main two. Listening, obviously, as well. But if you can at least get focused on conversational Japanese, then that will help you a lot with meeting people as well. And then also just improving your relationships with your teachers, your students, all of that.
Yeah, I think like for most
And they'll want to talk to
places,
you as well.
yeah, I think like if you could like speak it, I think that would be cool. I mean, it'd be nice to read it and stuff, like going places, but I think the speaking would probably be the most important thing, and understanding vice versa. So
Yep. Yeah. So those are some of this to answer some of your questions.
what is a perfect day?
Perfect day. Weather's nice so far. You see, no drama, no bullshit. That's always nice. Yeah, it's a perfect day to me. I mean, obviously, it could be like today was a good day from Ice Cube.
Yeah, man,
that'd be a perfect day. But
I feel like you said that last time too.
Yeah, you didn't have to use the AK.
Yeah, man.
You picked up a girl who's trying to fuck since the 12th grade. All that. So
finally climbed the mountain.
Climbed the mountain. Yeah. So that's like a perfect day. That's a good day.
All right. Who do you know that I should know?
Who do you know that I should know? I think you know everyone that I know you should know. I mean, we're kind of in the same circles back in Austin, especially with like the producers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So honestly, yeah. I mean, there's probably like people here and there, but honestly, no, you probably already know them.
All right. This is a bonus question before I do the actual last one. What are you most looking forward to in the FF7 remake?
No, that's a good question. I'm looking most forward to. I know it's gonna be all until Midgar, so see how the.
So that's confirmed. Like after Midgar, we're done with this version of the game. I mean, with this edition episode, yeah, whatever. That's confirmed already.
I'm trying to avoid reviews. I'm trying to avoid reviews and spoilers because I don't want a number to taint my opinion of the game.
Yeah.
Like I talked about this with you on the chat about Death Stranding, how it received mediocre reviews and kind of affected my perception of the game. Even though I enjoyed it, but a lot of other people said it was a bad game. It was boring. It wasn't a lot going on. But I'm avoiding reviews. I already got an email because I still get the emails from Kotaku about their reviews. And IGN is good. They're in a Japanese server, but I could still see what their review scores and use Google Translate. I just want to avoid reviews on that game until I actually play it. Because I have a Final Fantasy VII tattoo. I'm ready for this shit. Yeah.
What's the tattoo? No, what is it?
Oh, it's. I'd have to show you a picture, but it's a Yoshitaka Amano's drawing of Cloud and Aerith. Like at the pivotal scene, in case someone's listening to this that doesn't know what happens.
Well, I was gonna just say, yeah, the love that can never be, but all right.
Someone flies from the sky with a giant sword and takes that away, but
I remember, I still remember, dude, when that happened, where I was, and then I remember going outside to play with my friends at night, and I was just still like shocked for the next couple of hours. I couldn't even like process that.
Oh yeah, and then the boss fight, that boss fight that happens there leaves you super shook with that music. And my characters were underleveled at the time, so when they would use Aqualung, I would just get fucked up. And I was like, damn, this shit is epic as hell. I was 13 years old.
Me, and then that was my first RPG. I don't know if that was your first, but that was my first. So I was, I get from a story perspective, and no other game has really done this, but the whole time I was like, yo, why didn't he just use Phoenix Down?
It's like permadeath.
I still ask, exactly. Like, yo, why? Like, I still ask that question to this day. I think like I think later on in years, like, oh, so characters don't die in fights. They kind of get knocked out. Phoenix Down brings them up. But in my head, I was like, yo, man, like.
I think I have a logical, somewhat, this is theory, but you know how Aerith was the last ancient and all that. She was probably sucked into that place as the life stream. Where they went to the temple, the life stream, but she was probably sucked into the life stream, or her soul was taken into the life stream where she couldn't be revived.
Okay.
And that's why Cloud just leaves her off in the water like that. But that's probably what I'm hypothetically thinking. Some super asshole elitist Reddit person probably like correct me, but you get the idea. But for the remake though, I can't wait to see the Don Corneo stuff. That would be really fun.
Oh yeah. It took me a minute
we have
to
to
load
save
that.
Tifa and then dress up in the dress and all that, and also I've seen like different screen captures of like, like the preparation stuff of like getting into the dress and the mini games and obviously the fights. Some of the boss battles. I want to see how Sephiroth will be implemented into the first episode because they have already shown that he's going to be in it. So and that's obviously like he shows up and kind of gives you the wrestling promo talk. But I wonder if you're actually going to fight him in the first. You remember that when he shows up like darn, the bells go off. I wonder if they're going to keep a lot of that music because some of that music is iconic.
So the pattern I've noticed with remakes, and I was gonna quote Resident Evil, because I don't know if you played RE2 and now RE3 just dropped last week. RE2. So I don't even have systems, but I've been watching them, and I watched the entirety of RE2 from like one of my favorite like game players, and I loved RE2. I haven't been as motivated for RE3, just one because I'm just in a different place in life, but just
those games scared the shit out of me.
Really? Well, it scared me when I was younger. Definitely, I didn't want to play when I was alone. Now I don't know if I don't think it would do that. But
jump scares, I hate those.
What I noticed with those games, and I think all remake games, they do make new music, but there's an option there to just use the original. So
that's just Resident Evil. Not all games do that.
Well, but there's been a lot. I'm not saying it's 100% all of them, but a lot of remakes do it though. At least the ones that I've noticed. There's usually an option there. Yeah. So
we'll find out in a couple days if they're gonna let us like put the soundtrack swap. That would be really cool.
If they don't have that, you fucking up. I'm sorry. Maybe they're like, we don't want to pay that guy money because every time they use the music though, they got to pay rights. Maybe they're like, that shit's expensive. We making some new shit.
Yeah. But I wonder, they would probably own the rights to their own game music, though. Like Capcom, I'm pretty sure owns the rights to the 1998
I get what you're
saying,
soundtrack. But like, so I don't know music law, and I really don't know music law in Japan like that. You know what I mean? But usually, from what I've understood in other like weird and complicated scenarios, I mean, like look at FF. What's the one where Gak? Do you know Gak? J-Rock pop star? Do you know Gak?
Oh, are you talking about Final Fantasy X?
No, so he's in 7. The prequel. With Zack? What's the prequel with Zack?
Prequel is it?
FF7 prequel with Zack.
There's spin-offs. Oh, I know. I never played that one.
Anyway, it was on the portable PSP. The PSP. That's a portable PSP. Okay. It was on the PSP.
I never played it.
So that, by the way, looks like maybe just from watching people play it, because I never had a PSP. That looked like maybe the only good spin-off, but for FF7. But anyway, that game has never been really ported to other stuff in the future because they would have to pay Gak again for his likeness because he's like a real person in real life. And similar stuff has happened like with music where it's like, well, do we really want to pay that fee again or do we just want to make some new music? And that's it. So
now they could probably get away with it because of the remake. The people probably want to play those games.
Yeah,
like especially with timing of the remake, or people want to dive into the expanded universe of Final Fantasy VII. But
yeah.
I would even do a re-release of the movie in some way of Advent Children.
Oh wow, I forgot about that.
Or even like a port of Crisis. What is it? Crisis Core.
That's what I was just talking about. The game was
Dirge of Cerberus.
Oh yeah, no that.
Or both of those, yeah.
I don't know if anyone needs a port of Dirge.
Yeah, that's the thing. It'd be like a small fraction of the people that would probably buy it, but I'd play it.
I don't know. I've never played Dirge.
I like ports of old games.
No, well, I don't mind old games. I just like. So again, that's another game I didn't get to play, but watching it didn't really look as it just really looked like a spinoff. All right, you're playing with Vincent. Like the reason why I said Crisis, I think it's called Crisis Core or the whatever the game with Zack. Is it really did look like Aerith's in there a lot. Like it looked like it had meaningful story to FF7. Sometimes the spinoffs are just like, all right, don't you want to play with this character again? Cool, here you go, and it's a new adventure, and that's it. But that story all looked meaningful. Like you got a lot of Zack time. You get Sephiroth in there, and all.
Honestly, he's not even in the game. It's like, who the fuck is this guy? I know who he is, but is you really see him in the actual Final Fantasy VII?
Who, Zack?
Yeah,
he had his moments. Like especially once the story. It's less about Zack and more like Cloud. I don't even remember the story like that. But once you figure out like Cloud don't even got a life, it's more like Zack and blah blah blah.
Like in the flashbacks. Okay.
Yeah, that's
okay. Stuff. I remember that. I'm looking forward to seeing how all that's going to be implemented into the later episodes. Like once the world opens up beyond Midgar.
Yeah, the world map.
Yeah,
Will it be really? Will it feel like a real world map, or will it not? That's another
It'll
thing.
probably pull a Final Fantasy 15, and it'll be like a tiny little map, and half of it will become linear at the end of the game. And,
Yeesh.
yeah, there'll be a lot of boring driving around and.
Oh man, really? We're gonna drive to? We're not even gonna chocobo it. We're not gonna high wind it.
Well, you had a car in Final Fantasy 7 as well. And it was like kind of like in tiers of progression.
I just forgot
You had
about
the car, and then you had the high wind with Sid, and then it was a major side quest to get the gold chocobo to get Knights of the Round.
FF15 is probably the last game I played before I sold my systems. That world map was good. The problem is there was kind of only one real city. So like it would have been nice if there were cities in this world map instead of one city. You know?
There's a couple of cities, but one of them doesn't even unlock until like the end of the game, and it becomes a linear level once you get there.
Yeah, because they're not connected. You're kind of time traveling to go back into the world map, you know? So
and then there's a little town, which is kind of like a city, but
it's a town.
Like you kind of
it's not as built up as that city. You know, it's not. Right. That city feels like a city.
Right. And you don't even really get to spend too much time in Insomnia, which is a big letdown. And then you fly around, and the map wasn't even finished.
Yeah.
If you remember all that.
Yeah. That's right.
You're playing as Noctis flying around and shit, and it's just like, nope.
Yeah. I'm gonna hit you with the last one.
I hope they don't pull that. I think they learned their lesson, though, with Final Fantasy VII Remake, because they know the high expectations that the community has of this game, and they're not going to half-ass it like Final Fantasy 15. I would hope not.
And since it's episodic, if people got complaints, they can adapt. So.
Yeah, I mean, turn-based games, honestly, they're dated now. I mean, I guess Persona still does really well with the turn-based system, but other than that, many games just don't. They take too much time to play.
I mean, I think I would enjoy it, but yeah, I feel like the only RPGs I've even heard of being still turn-based were Japanese. I don't think no one else is really doing it.
Persona and Fire Emblem and maybe Pokemon.
That's
those of ways of just being able to like exploit weaknesses to make fights shorter.
Yeah.
So an attack is super effective, or you find a weak point, or you can one-shot enemies in Fire Emblem. It's all the same stuff.
But I'm gonna hit you with the last one, dude.
Okay.
What's the question I should have asked you but didn't?
No, you're pretty thorough. You asked about the coronavirus. You asked about music. You asked about life in Japan. You asked about any observations of stuff that you may not expect or was kind of let down by when you got to Japan.
Yeah.
But it's little observations. Yeah, you asked all the questions that I would have expected. Some that I had to think about. But no, I thought, I like that you've been consistently doing this and that you're passionate about the podcasts and that you host a variety of different people and that you're probably like 200 episodes deep now or close to that.
I'm 200 in podcasts that I've done. In this one, I'm only on, you might be like 105 or 6. But if you count like my Street Fighter show before this and all that other shit I used to do, I've done like 200.
Yeah, you're still just doing it.
The podcast will never stop. It just won't be consistent like weekly, because now I finally started doing the thing I've always said. Like I'm trying to release a song a week, and it just started the first week of April. So I'm working on music every day, and I'm trying to make that my primary creative outlet. And then I do the podcast as I do it, So
it's just one of those things where consistency is so important. Like with the Abroad in Japan guy, I follow him like religiously, and I don't even watch his YouTube videos. I just listen to his podcasts. Like when I'm at the gym, I put him on. So he does a podcast every week. Like usually every Wednesday it releases. Even like during Christmas week, he did a podcast.
That's what's up.
But yeah, the YouTube videos, those are a little like the primary. It's just something to consistently remind you of the presence, which I think has contributed to his success. But
yeah, if I only did podcasts, I would totally do way more of these, but I'm definitely into way too many things. So I'm trying to narrow it. I'm trying to make music the main one I do, because it's finally reached that point where it's kind of like therapy for me. It's kind of catharsis. I only now just started understanding that maybe a month or two ago, and then this, and then that's it.
Where are you releasing your stuff? SoundCloud, Spotify?
Oh, no SoundCloud. The only thing I'll ever post on SoundCloud is like things from when I was younger. Like I just reposted Iron Fist, which was a beat where I sampled the Iron Fist theme from Marvel vs. Capcom 3. But I made that in 2014, but I can't really release that legally. But yeah, no, it's on Spotify. It's on things not called Spotify.
Newer stuff I'm talking about.
Yeah. It's on everywhere.
Oh, okay, I'll go on Spotify later then.
aLRBoosh, baby. It's once a week,
Yeah.
one a week. We'll have a
Really?
track.
And you're using DistroKid to... Okay.
Yeah. Fences just came out last week, and then I got a metal track I made in 2017 because I kind of want to just put out everything. So.
Of course.
And then
I was wondering, is anyone else in the scene active? I was curious if
What do you
anyone
mean,
else
like,
that
musically?
we know it. Yeah.
Yeah, like you know eBurner, right?
Yeah, I've met
I
him.
think he's either doing bi-weekly or he's doing monthly tracks. Tomas Lizarazo is doing bi-weekly. And then everybody else is like, I guess when they do it, I guess, you know, like, like Black Da
Basically
Vinci, he hasn't done stuff for him, but he showed up on Brainwave's album. Brainwave just dropped the album, like.
Oh, yeah, I listened to Brainwave. Yeah, I like that album a lot.
He just dropped one. Yeah, and then like they're still doing the collective stuff. Those are on Spotify, DistroKid now too. If you want to do like feedback, like just random feedback stuff.
Yeah, I haven't. I wonder if when the last beat cipher was the last submission round.
There's one going on right now. It's due April 15th. So
I don't know if I'll have time.
Yeah.
It's too close at school.
For sure.
Final Fantasy.
They'll keep going. They'll always be there. They'll always be there. There's no rush, you know?
That's good. I like that, yeah. Because
man.
I know I haven't been active in months with them, but...
Hey, man, you dropped an album, then you want to live life. That's the way the normal artist should be, you know? So
yeah.
I'm just doing...
Yeah, I disappeared after my Japan trip from social media.
Yeah, man.
I've been around.
That's all, dude, you left your mark, and now you want to live life, and then once you intake enough stuff, then you'll be ready to spit whatever the next story is for you, you know?
Yeah.
So... I'm kind of doing this because I need to find my purpose. That's why I'm working like I want to do a track a week and all that because it's kind of like I said, it's kind of more rehab for me. So
yeah, but you also gotta live life to find new sources of inspiration as well.
Oh, that'll happen
why
too.
I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, absolutely. But all right, man. Where can the people find you online? Obviously not social media, but I mean.
Well, my Facebook's back up, and I'll respond to messages. You can actually use Facebook Messenger without having a Facebook account if you deactivate your profile.
Yeah.
Yep. So you can still receive messages. Yep. That's basically it. Just Facebook Messenger line. This Chris Big Money, and then I'll respond.
What about the music? Where they find your music at?
Spotify.
Everywhere. Chris Big Money.
Yep, everywhere. CBM.
All right. Last words.
That's basically it. I got pretty favorable responses from my Japanese teachers with my Japanese, so it was pretty good.
That's what's up.
Watashi no namae wa Chris desu. It's like, my name is Chris. Hajimemashite. It's like, nice to meet you for the first time. And then you'll be like, America kara kimashita. This means I'm from America. America shushin desu, I'm an American person. And then the other one was yoroshiku onegaishimasu, which means please look at me favorably with your friendship. So you say that when you meet someone, you're working with someone for the first time.
Bam.
So yeah, I used all that, and it's just a short way to introduce myself in Japanese. But
that's what's up, man. Well,
I still got to do self-introduction lessons, and want to actually study for a bit and work on my lesson plan in a bit. That's basically all I got going on today. But if I can remain diligent about this, I think there'll be a lot of rewards and payout.
I believe so too, man. Yeah. You've come a long way since I've known you, and hearing your story on the last one and on this, yeah, man, I said it before on the last one. It's like, yeah, man, like sometimes you fucking do shit. That's all I'm trying to say. You do the shit you want to do, and you do it.
Yep. Yeah, I can't wait on nobody. Can't let
up.
social media validation stop me. I just got to do it.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Yep.
But yeah, man, I'm mad happy for you. Keep doing your thing out there, dude.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I'll be around though. Just send me a message.
Always, dude. Bake that chicken, smoke that turkey. Boosh.
Fire pizza.
I'm on this emotional roller coaster. Wanna get rid of yo. Tired of feeling Admire the back and forth. Don't exist no more. Blinded heart, feeling power. No ball, court to score. Happily, nevermore.
Attic outside, you're still on my mind. I wanna be fine. This is the time. Attic outside, you're still on my mind. I wanna be fine. I wanna be fine. Life gone crazy, someone say me. Life gone crazy, someone say me. Life gone crazy, someone say me. Life gone crazy, someone say me.
In prison, my room, always dirty, no room. Addictions, your tunes, daydreams, love blooms for you. Songs coon, Mario, tunes, still ill, never grew. Man, I love you.
Attic outside, you're still on my mind. I wanna be fine. This is the time. Attic outside, you're still on my mind. I wanna be fine. I wanna be fine. Life gone crazy, someone say me. Life gone crazy, someone say me. Life gone crazy, someone say me. Life gone crazy, someone say me.